All right, I wasn't sure if I should film this, but it was what I was doing yesterday, and it may spark some interest or have some information that people would like. People know that I have a, well, maybe not everybody, people know I have an old lathe. This is a South Bend Model R. It is a 9-inch South Bend, but it's based off of a heavy 10 Ways. So it's kind of a beefy 9-inch. It does have a change gearbox, but anyway. Back in the day, you always just used the graduations on the cross slide here to make measurements in and out, and I never liked that, especially these small little dials on the South Bend here. So I was using a dial indicator, and that was kind of a pain. It was kind of getting in the way and stuff. I've always wanted to put a DRO on it, and I finally got around to installing one DRO. And so I just thought I'd give you my experiences with this thing. I looked around, and these had pretty good reputations. It's made by Sino, and I have the 2-axis version here for a lathe. And this is the SDS 6-2V. And so it has a bunch of buttons that you can do all kinds of crazy things with. But anyway, as you dial in and out, the indicator changes here, and you can zero it and do relative measurements and stuff. There's an absolute, there's relative. You can do diameters or radiuses, pushing the half button. So it's very handy on a lathe. The Y-axis I could also install, but it's very long on this lathe. I have a 4.5-foot lathe. It's very long. I would do it, now that I have this up and running and I enjoy it, I would do it, except I have to get to the back side of the lathe. And the way it's sitting on the bench, I would actually have to pull the lathe off the bench to install it. And the lathe is very, very heavy. I'd have to rent an engine hoist, and probably not just going to do it, at least not for a while. I don't use the lathe all that often, so let me show you the installation here. It is just one axis here. This is I think it's a 220 millimeter DRO cross slide, and here's the reed head. So the cross slide is attached to the main body here, and then the reed head is attached here. I did have to drill a couple holes in the lathe, and although this isn't pretty, this little piece of metal here, it got me up and running. Maybe someday I'll replace it with something nicer, machine something for it, but right now it's working great. I'll probably just leave it alone. But yeah, it works out pretty good. I'll leave part numbers for these things down in the description in case you're interested in what this stuff is, and the prices that I paid for it. It wasn't that much. I think I paid $100 for the $100 for the readout and $140 for the cross slide. So, you know, $250 or something like that. Wasn't too bad. It wasn't a simple journey. So let me show you my fail, which sort of ended up, I guess, okay. But a word of warning for this other device that I bought first, it didn't work out. And so let me give you that update and tell you why you want to avoid that one and go with this one. And it has to do with the speed. You can see the update rate here is extremely fast. Extremely fast, and that's what you want, right? Because these are tenths of inches, right? Yeah, so it's really fast, very, very fast, which is what you want on a machine. So let me show you the one that I tried out first and why it didn't work. All right, we're over here at the milling machine, and let me first describe how it's installed on the milling machine. This is what I had previously. It actually bolts on here very easily. I got one of these and it works fine. It uses a little coin cell and You can zero it and stuff. So I've had this for decades now, and it sat right here. So the problem with it is the display is really small, and it's at about belly height, and so it's very hard to read. So this is the device that I originally bought for the lathe, okay? And it is the same type of unit, but the display is not here. The display is remote, right? You can put this display anywhere you want to, and there's magnets, and so you just stick it onto something, and away you go. We can turn it on here, and if the camera captures that, yeah, I guess it does capture that. Okay, so here it is. So as you crank the handle, the numbers change. Now, the reason that this thing is a no-buy is the update rate of this thing. So I turn the handle and then it updates. Turn the handle and then it updates. So not good. Not good at all. It is accurate. It does do what it's supposed to do, and it's half of thousandths. Because I'd already bought it, I tried it on the lathe. I just kind of tacked it on, and I found out this problem and stuff. I was going to send it back and get my money back, but I thought that it would at least be better here on this machine. So I'm going to give it a try over here. I think it was only $60 or something. It wasn't a lot of money, and it's certainly going to be this one. This one has a faster update rate. Not great. Probably approximate to this one. And if I just turn the dial slowly, it's okay. So it'll be fine on this machine. I do have a real DRO on the rest of the thing in X and Y. It would have been nice to have a Z over here too, but these things are super expensive. I got this one cheap because company was going out of business that was selling them. But it's a Newell. Yeah, but it'd be nice to have X, Y, Z over here. I could move the display over there, but I think the display here is going to work out just fine. The way that it's mounted, in case anybody wants to put one of these on their knee mill here, or it's not really a knee mill, it's a bench mill. There's this post here that's a stop, okay? And you'd have these two nuts, and you can run the nuts down, and they stop on this here, and you can set a height where you can, have a hard stop. I'm using them to attach the bracket for this thing. So because this threaded rod moves up and down, it runs the sensor. So that works out okay. All right, so pretty easy install for one of these things. There's a plate here that has like some numbers on it. I think probably the speeds and feeds for this thing. I don't know. Anyway, if you take this plate off, there's 4 screws that hold this plate on. And if you turn it upside down and put it back in, it gives you the depth that you need. Otherwise, you don't have a lot of room in there. So I flipped that over, pushed it back down, and gives me the depth inside the machine. Otherwise, it would be flush and it wouldn't work good. Okay, one more thing I wanted to add was the length might not be what you buy. So I think I had to do that with this one as well. So they come in certain lengths, but it might not be exactly what you want. So don't be afraid to cut part of it off, okay? So this scale here was that much longer, and I just cut a piece of it off. It still works. The rest of it still works. This stuff is pretty hard, so I used a grinding wheel, cutoff wheel, to remove that. But yeah, don't be afraid to just just remove part of your scale.